Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the second hot topics today on a subject that is just horrific. It's awful. It's not something I enjoy covering. I definitely will, because I don't think YouTube would monetize it, but I wouldn't want to monetize it anyway if I could monetize it. These videos are just a way for me to talk to you guys and to tell you my feelings on this, and boy do I have a lot of feelings. I already covered the El Paso shooter in another video, and now I'm going after the Dayton, Ohio shooter. At about 1 a.m. in Dayton, Ohio, in the Oregon Historic District, which I guess is known, I have never been, so I'm not 100% sure this is what I read, is known for its entertainment and bars. A guy, once again, I will not say the shooter's name. You will not catch that coming out of my mouth. If you expect me to talk about the shooter and his life and all of that stuff, it's not going to happen. I will give you an in-depth of my thought and opinions what's going on, but I'm not going to glorify the shooter. I don't believe in glorifying the shooter. I think Virginia Beach had it right when they didn't want to release the shooter's name, and I stick by that. So if you're not in, if that's what you're coming here looking for, you might as well click out now. And I won't even count as a view for me because it's under 30 seconds. But yeah. What's that? Okay, so he opened fire at around 1 a.m. in a historic district of Dayton, Ohio. He did it in less than a minute. It was 32 seconds when he was able to kill 9 and injure 27 people in under a minute. One of them was his own sister. So not only is his family have to deal with the fact that their son is a mass shooter, but they're also dealing with the loss of another child. And I grieve for them, and I feel for them. We often blame shooters' families, and I don't blame the shooter's family for this. I don't think anyone ever wants their kid to become a school shooter or a mass shooter or something like that. And I think if people really understood, they would try to stop it. So I don't ever really blame the families. But that's not the point. Okay, so he went in 1 a.m. and under 30 seconds. He was shot by multiple police officers. And yeah, he had a AR-7 style rifle, which isn't actually a rifle. It's a handgun. And from what I understand, parts of it you have to buy with a license. Other parts of it you don't, and I don't understand that. I think that pretty much any gun that you buy, you should have to register it. You register to have a car. You have to have a license to drive, but yet a weapon that can kill 9 people and injure 27 in 30 seconds is something that we don't regulate. Where does that seem normal or okay? If you think about it logically, we really need to stop bending over for the NRA. We let them dictate the narrative. We let them pump millions of dollars into the system to keep laws from being passed, and then we end up with a shooter like the Dayton, Ohio shooter. And yeah, I don't think gun control is the only solution, because if you look into these shooters, they have certain histories. This shooter had a history of misogyny. He had a history of fascination with mass shooters. He apparently had talked about it when he was a teenager. So there's no real surprise behind this. And I think that the more shooters that we catch alive and we question and we treat like we did serial killers, where we went and we kind of studied them, we learned their background and their history and what led up to it, we were able to kind of profile them and use it. And I think that if we do the same thing with shooters, if we get enough of these shooters alive, we might be able to start profiling them and maybe set out something to look for, like some kind of they had the homicidal trio for serial killers. Well, maybe we can have kind of like the homicidal trio in some form or another for mass shooters. Misogyny, a history of talking about wanting to do school shootings or mass shootings, obsession with violence. I'm sure there are things that show up in all of their histories and all of their stuff. So we should start looking into that. We need to make more gun laws. We need common sense gun laws. I said this in my last video. call your congressman, call your senator. Let the president of the United States know that we want common sense gun laws in this country. We want background checks for every gun. Every gun. Private sellers, internet sellers, do a background check. We want laws where people that talk about school shootings or domestic violence or things that obviously make them a danger to others and themselves, that the courts should be able to take their guns on a case-by-case basis. Yes, maybe in the long run they can get them back, but if they are an immediate threat or they are talking about being a school shooter or they're doing something like that, we have to be able to do something that keeps them from having access to the weapons that they are using to murder people. And once again, I'm going to go back to this only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Tell that to the 9 people that died in under 30 seconds, because the cops were able to shoot and take him down in under 30 seconds. Well, under a minute. It was 32 seconds. 32 seconds. Under a minute, they were able to shoot and take him down, and he still managed to kill 9 people, including his own sister. So, stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be less ranty videos, and I'm going to go through and I've been saving all the information, and I'm going to read you some of the victims. I'm going to read you some of the stories, and we're going to focus on them, and we're going to focus about talking about them and remembering them, because some of them are having funerals today. And I want to do 2 videos for both El Paso and Dayton where we remember them. We say screw the shooters, and we remember the stories of the people that died. All right, that's going to be the end of this ranty video, and I will see you later.